Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Okay Bud, the podcast where everything's gonna be okay, bud. I am Ben Kissel at BenKissel1, joined by Jerry Aquino.
Hello.
At Miss_Jerry, that's Jerii, and Kyle Plouffe.
Hey.
At Kyle Plouffe. Watch live on our Patreon, patreon.com/diebud. Comment on the show, say, you stink, we love you.
Hey.
Either way.
Support me!
Support Jerry. Also, if you want to communicate with the show in another way, you can email okbudpod@gmail.com.
Oh.
Jerry started off the show with screams, which brings us to our first story.
Ooh.
Helicopters.
Oh, God.
No.
Absolutely not.
So scary.
I don't know how they still exist.
Why bother? Just do anything else
like-
other than a helicopter.
Like the horses of the air.
They really are awful machines. They killed Kobe
They did.
Yup.
and countless other people, including 6 folks in New York City. They were flying in from, or they came in from Spain. They were celebrating a birthday of one of their children. They went up to fly in the heavens to see the Statue of Liberty and a whole series of different pigeons, and I don't know what else you look at up there. And their plane literally fell apart in midair.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, this happened yesterday, and it is catastrophic. So at first, they said it was a fuel issue, and that the pilot, who had just taken off about 15 minutes earlier, was like, hey, we're out of fuel. You probably want to check that before you take off. But now it turns out that the aircraft was missing a pretty important screw, and they call it the Jesus nut.
Oh.
Really?
I thought that's what impregnated Mary.
Jerry, take a look at the screen there. You can see the footage of the helicopter falling from the sky.
Oh, you haven't seen this yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, my God.
No.
There
Okay,
are
play it,
6
play it. I
people
wanna see.
inside, and it is
6?
devastating.
They're all family?
3 kids, 2 parents.
Oh,
Yes,
my God.
And of course, the pilot, upon the crash,
Whoa,
2 of
that's
them.
the airplane? That's the helicopter? That spinning thing?
Hold on.
Yes, so the propeller and the air and the
The propeller comes down after it.
yes, and so the main cabin falls directly into the water.
I missed it when it fell.
Yes, let's get Jerry to see that. There it is.
That's that? Oh, my God.
Yes, and there's 6 people inside of that, careening towards the ground.
Oh, man. Just surrounded by all this metal.
Strangely enough, 2 of those people did survive the initial impact,
Oh, no.
and they died at the hospital.
Jeez.
Whoa.
I'm not sure I don't know what's better, if you just die immediately or if you have a moment to realize you've lost everything.
Yeah.
So, according to aviation analyst Julian Bray, they suggest that the aircraft was missing, again, quote, the Jesus nut. Why is this so important? Because it keeps the rotor on the goddamn helicopter,
Good God.
Oh, my God.
which is kind of what
That's
you want.
literally that's like the whole deal.
The whole thing.
That's basically the entire idea of a helicopter.
Yes, without those little spinny things up there, without the fan going.
You're telling me there's one screw that holds it all together?
I have never,
The
ever.
Jesus nut?
You are not allowed. Everyone that's listening, you are all banned from helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, didn't we all agree to that after Kobe?
I thought
I
we
thought
did.
we all just agreed to that.
I thought we did. So it was lacking or had a faulty, again, Jesus nut. He said it could have caused the chopper blades to detach while spinning.
Oh my
And then also,
God.
not just detach while spinning, it can also slice through the aircraft itself.
Which I think it did because its tail was gone.
Oh,
Tail
my
did
Lord.
not seem-
Yeah, the tail was off. It was all 3 different little pieces that went down at different times.
So
Wow.
the helicopter, it was the Bell 206 helicopter. It snapped in half and spiraled into the river near New Jersey. The rotor blades can be seen flying off as the fuselage drops into the Hudson River.
Jesus.
So it's swimming with the fishes now. According to Bray, they say what appears to have happened with this particular helicopter is that the rotor, the main rotor, had detached because in one video we see the blade spinning away from the helicopter.
Yeah.
Wow.
God, with all the regulation in New York, it is very strange. There is almost none for commercial, vacation, tourist helicopter experiences.
There doesn't need. You just
just
say
gotta
that
buy
you
one.
Do it. You just got to say that you do it, and then put it on your Airbnb profile.
Yep. And then you just get up there and you do it, and then a family
Yeah.
from Spain is dead.
That's
Jesus.
That's so sad.
Well, even if nothing goes wrong, when we were living there in 2009, there were two helicopters that hit each other head on.
Whoa.
So there's no mechanical failures there. It's just two people just not looking at each other, and they're fucking going right into each other.
The world's most dangerous game of chicken.
Hey, with all of these planes and the helicopters falling down, like what happened? Did we like lower a qualification level for people in interviews because all of a sudden air traffic control is out of whack?
We peaked. We peaked many moons ago,
Yeah.
and now we're just in the decline, and literally because everything is falling from the sky.
Now we're just a bunch of sky dancers. We're hoping not to turn into a bunch of sky dancers. Do you know what that is? That's a '90s toy. It used to be a little fairy that you would flicker off of a handle.
Oh, yeah, and it just
then
flies
her
away.
wings would like turn off and like spin off.
I watched that video on Instagram where somebody does that and it goes right into the fireplace.
Yes.
Remember that video?
Well, the Spain family did a version of that.
Oh my God.
boy.
They really did. And it's super sad. They say this appears to have sliced through the back half of the helicopter. So the fuselage then drops like a stone again into the Hudson near Pier 41. So someone's just sitting there on the pier having a nice mocha. And next thing you know, they watch a family and a pilot die.
That's insane. And where did the rotor blade go? It went rotor blading.
It went rotor blading. Yes.
But where did it land?
Near the Hudson. Yes.
Just like in the water or like
In the
on
water.
the land?
Nope, not on the land. Thank God. That could have killed more people.
Yeah, that could have
What if
really
this happened
destroyed
over
some
Manhattan?
shit. Yeah.
It was very close.
It was really
Oh.
close.
It was very close.
I am not, you know what? If I die from a helicopter landed on me when I'm on land, then that was the plan.
Why did they
God
want to
wrote
see
that.
the Statue of Liberty anyways? Isn't the French taking it back pretty soon?
I think they want it back.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
can have it. It's not really that
They
nice.
get serious.
It's already rusted.
It's all rusted up, gutted. You can't even go inside her
We
anymore.
did not take care of it.
No, not at all.
We didn't maintain it very much.
Absolutely not. You just
Why
look
can't you go into the crown anymore?
terrorism.
You
I
know?
think it's because of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Do you remember in X-Men they had the fight at the top of the...
I blame Wolverine for most of my problems. Why not?
I try to.
Why not? So R.I.P. to that family and
Yeah.
It
that
is
pilot. And it's not the pilot's fault. Again,
Doesn't seem like it. Maybe a backup Jesus nut in place?
I cannot believe the entire thing is just one little fuck
I
nut.
can't. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. That can't be. They must be like paraphrasing. Is me giving them credit, benefit of the doubt.
I don't think it's paraphrasing. Because that's what happened with Kobe. They were like, oh, this helicopter, and obviously was top of the line.
Is that it?
This is the Jesus nut. It fits in the palm of your hand.
Yes, that's it. That's the whole thing that keeps the entire plane together.
It really needed a couple of extra safety measurements.
I used to think Star Wars was ridiculous that one plane could blow up to the Death Star, but maybe they just hit the Jesus nut.
Maybe they hit Jesus.
Like, oh, you hit our Jesus nut.
Oh!
Darth Vader, bad news, they hit the nut.
Oh my God.
Oh, so please, God, just you can see New York City so many ways. So
Yeah.
many ways. Stay on the land. All right. Well, we have a lot of spooky stories to get to. We also have some UFOs. We have a cryptid, and then also we have an ex-UFC player who has some interesting claims about his family. But before we get to that, let's talk about pranks gone wrong.
Oh, boy.
Everybody knows.
Prank.
Whose prank?
Yeah.
This is a prank that happens amongst men, and Jerry, perhaps you could say if it happens amongst girls as well. You get drunk at a party, you're having a good time. First one who passes out, they get their eyebrow shaved.
Ah, yes.
I think boys tend to do this more than girls.
Definitely
Yeah.
more than girls.
But boys also get very upset when this happens.
Doesn't make any sense.
David Eaton, he turned on his close friend Matthew Higgins after he woke up and found that his eyebrow was missing. And they didn't walk off.
Which one is the one with the eyebrow missing? Is it the redhead? Because the redhead doesn't look like he has any eyebrows.
The redhead doesn't look like he has any eyebrows.
Wait, he might have just very blonde eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Okay.
they are just very blonde.
Right.
So the guy wakes up. He's like, oh my God, my favorite eyebrow is missing. I can't believe you did that to the one I like the most.
Right. Everyone has a favorite eyebrow.
So Higgins, he tried pinning the blame on another pal, but soon a brawl broke out. He then grabbed a knife from the kitchen and stabbed David, known as Bode, twice in the heart.
Wow.
So he ended up killing the guy.
Jeez.
Yes, he ran to a neighbor's house with blood on his hands, saying, I've stabbed my mate. He was doing my head in.
What?
Was he doing your head in?
I stabbed my mate. He was doing my head in. Higgins, there's the British.
It's ridiculous. He was doing my head in.
They're funny. Even though this guy stabbed the guy twice in the heart, it's still like, okay, Pinocchio.
It's still kind of quirky.
Did he really? Did he get your knickers in a bunch?
That seemed that way. He's upset. Man, if I was the arresting police officer, I would make fun of his eyebrow the entire drive over to the station.
Absolutely. Stop raising your eyebrow at me. I can't. Higgins admitted to stabbing David, but claimed it was in self-defense. He is now
waking up with a shaved eyebrow?
Yes, he woke up with a shaved eyebrow and then stabbed you twice in the heart.
So but was it like he woke up in the act of this man shaving him?
I think he woke up, probably felt it. Who knows?
Because it's
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I guess it's something to be like, oh, you woke up and your friend's like has a razor to your face.
Yeah, but still, it's an escalation that didn't need to take place.
Yeah. Oh no, it definitely escalated way too far.
Right? Because it's like one of those people who like you play like the what's that game that you play when you see one headlight and then you punch
Padiddle.
Padiddle.
What?
You don't know Padiddle?
No, I don't know.
Hit the roof.
Oh, you hit the roof? I always hit my buddy in the shoulder.
Well, that's if it's like a cop car.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's Boston rule. You don't do that with your friends if you see. I mean, we don't do it anymore. Us men, we're grown.
I've heard of punch buggy.
What's that?
Well, if you see a VW bug, then you punch somebody. Punch buggy.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So it's like that.
Yeah.
So this was a total escalation, as if that person, after getting punched, then opened up the door and then threw that person out of their car over a bridge and then they died.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So the Chester Crown Court, they heard from friends. They heard they had been out drinking September of last year when David fell asleep on the sofa. After he woke up to find his eyebrow missing, a scuffle broke out.
That's insane.
And that's where David got the better of Higgins. So they appeared to brush themselves off and continue their day when Higgins blamed their other friend for the prank. So this guy, he was going around with one eyebrow all day, and I think he was just
He was like seething.
And then somebody at the store was just like, well, we got drunk last night, huh? And then he's just like, yeah, my friend threw my eyebrows off. Yeah. And then slowly but surely, he got so pissed. So he confronted David at his home. And then David said, he swears on his mother's life. I swear on my mother's life, I didn't touch your eyebrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
They also, this is kind of not to victim blame, but kind of on the friends that they didn't know this is the friend that you don't do that to.
Yeah,
honestly,
they found out.
Yeah, we definitely all have. We can all pick out a couple of friends in our group that you're like, no, you can't do jokes with that guy. That guy is it's sensitive.
He's emotionally traumatized.
Yeah.
And we kind of keep him around because he's like good sometimes on a fight.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we're all scared of him.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Can't play around too much.
You can't play around too much, and that's definitely what happened here. They played around with the wrong man.
Yeah, that is just, and he's not the kind of guy, obviously, to be like, all right, I have to slap you now. Now you owe me one big fat slap.
Well, what you got to do?
I feel like that would have been
Eyebrow for
appropriate.
eyebrow.
Yeah, that would have been appropriate.
Yeah.
Brow for brow? You can even double brow for brow.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say, okay, I'm taking both of your brows.
Yep.
And you're going to sit here and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it, and you're going to be awake and sober when I do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So David realized Higgins must have been the friend around the joke and returned to his home where another brawl broke out.
Wow.
So this guy is on a rampage to find out who got his eyebrow.
He is
Yeah.
so upset about this.
Just imagine one friend just pulls it out of his pocket. Be like, here it is. I have your eyebrow. Here you go. You want it back? So
That's how eyebrows work.
his on and off again girlfriend, Emma Deed, she told the court that David punched Higgins, who told him, "I'm not putting up with this."
Wait, the fact that he has a girlfriend might have a lot to do with all of this. Was she just like edging him completely the whole time? And she's like, "You're really gonna let your mates do that to you? You look retarded."
She should have drawn one on for him then.
Yeah, true prison style.
I have an aunt that does that.
Of course, we all do. Well, it's an on and off again girlfriend, so God knows what that.
So yeah, she was definitely razzing him then.
She went off again after seeing the eyebrow.
Well, now he's in prison, so she's probably off. We're off. Just so you know, for the next 25 years, we're off. So she continues. She says, "I thought Maddie went upstairs, but then Bodie went to the hallway and there was a bit of an argument. I heard Bodie shout, 'Knife!' Then you've actually stabbed me. Emma, he has stabbed me." She says,
my God.
"I asked Maddie to let go of the knife, but he refused, saying, 'No, he's not hitting me again.' I then heard Bodie say, 'I'm sorry,' before he slumped over."
Oh my God.
She says, "I was in a daze and I was screaming out to the neighbors. I was saying to Bodie, 'Stay with us. You're all right. You're fine.' You're all right." However, David suffered 2 massive wounds
Oh my God.
that penetrated his ribcage and entered his heart.
What's with the Brits and stabbing people in the chest and the heart?
No guns.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'd rather get popped in the head with a gun than stabbed in the heart.
Oh, 1,000%.
Getting stabbed sounds really, really rough.
Oh, awful.
And if people are confused with looking on the Patreon, we're showing the actual pictures of the people. The redhead is the one that killed him.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
The redhead
Another
is
bad
the
day to
one
be a
that
ginger.
Killed the other one.
Well,
Got
don't mess with the redheads.
No eyebrows, no soul.
Weird,
we have souls.
weird stance to take at this point.
We have souls.
Yeah, no, I mean
Redheads
sure.
have souls. We stole
Maybe not.
them.
Maybe not this guy.
We stole them.
Higgins says, as he was detained, "Fucking hell. This is he says,
Sorry.
he says, "Fucking hell. This is a bit of excitement, isn't it?" So I think they're all bored as hell.
Yeah, he obviously needed something to get really upset about.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he later claimed David had fallen onto the knife.
That's what
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
He
Because
fell onto the knife twice.
isn't that what the other guy who stabbed his daughter said? That she just like, I've fallen down a
they
lot
were-
Thought it
of
was some tongs.
They were just mucking about.
They were mucking about.
Yeah.
And she fell on a knife. So he says, yeah, David fell on a knife. It happens all the time. His arrest for murder, quote, has been fucking shambles. He says, this is fucking shambles. So he's all mad. Well, in custody, Higgins headbutted an officer. So this guy is on something.
This guy's epic.
He's on one.
He really is.
Oh my god.
He's got a stupid cross tattoo on his face, too.
He really does.
Oh, yeah, he has the eyes of a real idiot. Nothing behind, like an actor. Like when we were watching Baywatch yesterday and we were staring at David Hasselhoff's eyes.
Yeah.
Nothing behind those things.
Whoa. He was paralyzed from the waist
Yeah.
That
down.
was the funniest episode
For like
I've ever
2
seen.
whole weeks.
Thrown across the rocks.
So the inspector, Eleanor Atkinson, she says this was a senseless crime which could have easily been avoided. Higgins let his anger after an argument get the better of him, foolishly choosing to pick up a knife with devastating consequences.
He needs to be kept inside.
Yes.
Doesn't see, especially after headbutting the cop and not even just like
He hasn't been tanning anyway.
waking
No.
up, crime of passion, so upset, just started swinging and stabbing. No, this was like a couple of days, like going into this. He was like going to people's houses and being like, "Is it true that it was your idea?" No, well, David said this, and are you going to do that to me again? I'll make sure of it.
He put in detective work.
Yeah, like he was weird about it.
It's at some point you're just like, it was a prank. Okay, we get it. You're mad, but you're way overreacting.
In this picture, he has both of his eyebrows. You can't even tell. So it's not even like it wasn't much of a loss.
No, he's quite.
Couldn't tell.
It probably was the girlfriend that just kept razzing him and he got really pissed about it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Possible. Kind of an ugly looking fella there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a little sack of Irish potatoes.
Yeah, I know. He does look very Irish, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, more like the potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least the potato eyes have eyebrows, unlike him. And if he didn't enjoy getting razzed by his friends, I wonder how jail's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably pretty fun. Okay, let's move on to a bit of a mystery, and I have no idea what to make of this.
Oh, uh-oh.
Ultimate Fighting Championship. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
UFC.
Yes.
There was a Hall of Famer and former champion. His name is B.J. Penn. Yes, he is claiming that his family has been murdered and replaced by imposters.
What?
Yeah, this is bad.
It's so weird. Penn revealed that he has evidence. This was all in a series of disturbing Instagram posts.
This is recent?
Yes. He made the claim that multiple family members have been replaced by imposters who killed his actual family, which is much like the film Us.
Yeah.
It seems like this seems like this was directed by Jordan Peele. I have no idea what's going on. This is what he says. He says, my mother, Lorraine Shin, my brother, J.D. Penn, my brother, Reagan Penn, and my brother, Kalani were all murdered, and I need the police to investigate these guys, get these people out of my house, and off my property.
Oh, my God.
So I am going to venture to say that his family has not been murdered, and that they are not imposters, and something snapped in this man's mind.
Yeah, CTE. I think, it's extreme mental illness brought on by getting punched in the head a lot.
Oh, and that's really sad.
Yeah, it's super sad.
Or he's right.
Yeah, or he's right, and then that's the perfect guy to do it to, because you're like, oh, he's got punched in the head a bunch. He's just crazy.
Yeah. Nope, I don't think so. I think that his family is just like, while he's calling the cops, they're just looking at him and looking at each other like, dude, I don't know, man. Just let him make the call.
Well, so Penn revealed numerous images of his family members, and then he points out features, eyes, ears, and freckles and mouth. And he claims, look, they're different people.
That's messed up.
Isn't it crazy?
Wow.
That is so insulting to the family.
Yeah.
Just like zooming in your iPhone into their faces. Like,
you'd have that ugly mole.
He didn't have that skin tag there before. Look at that.
It's crazy. So Penn says this. He says real JD, that's his brother. He says real JD has all of his teeth and a pointy chin. And then he looks at fake, and he says fake JD is taller and has a crooked front left tooth and no back teeth, even though JD and Reagan never had a cavity in their whole entire lives.
Whoa.
I don't know.
I mean, he doesn't spend all of his time with his brother. There could be some meth that's been snuck under him without his knowledge. He could have been doing his own fighting. Maybe
True.
He did eat a lot of sugar.
True.
I don't know. And then also, it does sound like the wear and tear of a human in general.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's like pointing at all the wears and tears of his family and being like, that wasn't like that before.
He's like, hey, I've been being a naughty boy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, doing crystal methamphetamine. I mean, really, his family is aging horribly if this is true.
I guess, yeah.
So,
Just seems a little bit rude.
BJ Penn then shared text messages that he had with the family where he's like, y'all aren't real.
Right.
And what did they say? I really want to know what they said.
And he sent them the pictures of them up close, being like, look at you, you hideous monster.
Jesus Christ, I'd be so mad.
Right? So then Penn wrote in another caption, if I harm any of these people that are acting like my mom or my brothers, I go to jail and lose everything.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Then he says, if they harm me, nothing will happen to them and I lose everything.
That's not true.
He's not really seen a way out.
Oh, man.
He says, I have many black belts over the years that are police officers. Are you guys going to help me? Are we going to go and help JD and Reagan and my mother and look for them and investigate these fake frauds who are trying to steal everything from my family? But what if he's telling the truth? Because now he is calling for a DNA test and the police to investigate.
Well, that would clear things up very quickly.
That would pretty much clear things. Maybe we should just do that.
But then if they found out he was adopted to begin with, and then it really fucks with him.
You don't want to mess with these guys. You thought the eyebrow guy was bad. BJ Penn's going to freak out.
I want to see some screenshots of those text messages. I want to hear from the family.
The family, I think, is a little befuddled and quite confused.
Yeah.
Apparently, Penn made similar claims last month in another video questioning his mother. So I think there's some family drama going on
Definitely some family drama. Man, if I did this to my family, they'd be so pissed.
here. I mean, if I did this to my family, they'd be like, see ya, bye, thanks for the house. We don't need you anymore.
Right.
I'd be like, oh, wait, what? I was trying to make you feel bad.
I guess this is a particular disorder called Capgras syndrome.
Okay.
It's a delusional disorder where a person believes that a familiar person, usually a loved one, has been replaced by an imposter.
Whoa.
So this isn't that I mean,
a thing.
how common is this?
Not so common.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, but they have aggressive reactions to the belief that the loved one has been replaced that can lead to violence towards the perceived imposter.
Is it like an
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the family's in danger.
It's associated with
Yeah.
conditions like dementia, schizophrenia,
Okay.
and Parkinson's.
So he has some dementia issues, and he's young too. So
I know.
as Kyle said, this man has been punched in the head quite a bit
Yeah.
for a living. So one day he just wakes up and he looks at his mom. And he's like, "You're not my mom."
Get the fuck out of here.
And she's like, "What are you talking about? Look at my ragged pussy." And now that I'm, you know,
What did he say?
sometimes I say bad things to myself. Look at my
That one-
pussy that you
that one
wrecked.
was-
You fucking. You don't. I mean, if I was a
that one,
mother,
buddy.
if I was
Yeah.
a mother, and my son was like, "Oh, you didn't. You're not my mom," I'd be like, "Look at it. You ruined it.
You broke it!
You were the one who broke it. Look at the stretch marks."
This is horrifying. Of course, that's what you would do as a mother.
Anyway, so we'll keep you updated. We'll see if the DNA test happens or if he just maybe needs to seek some psychiatric help because
Sounds like that.
yeah, he's a super famous fighter. He was fantastic too. One of the smaller weights, but a very aggressive young man in the ring.
Yeah.
Very sad.
They say this usually comes on at 48 years old. He's 46.
Oh my God, I'm 43.
Oh, God.
My mom's got a couple more years of being my mom before I tell her she ain't my mom, although she looks exactly like me.
Your mom, we're the ones sitting right here next to you. Kyle, what are we going to do when he starts
God.
thinking we're imposters?
Who are you?
ourselves?
I'll say, oh, thank God. I didn't like
Sick
those
of
other
those
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
Like, finally, some replacements.
Hey, you guys seem cool.
Sticking with some spooky news. The Headless Horseman. You know the story.
I do.
So, a galloping ghoul, ghost of the Headless Horseman, rides through the streets in a horror CCTV camera footage.
Oh.
Really?
Millions of people have watched the eerie clip online, which we can watch here. You can give it a look there, Jer. If you look real closely, you can see the Headless Horseman gallop right there
Oh.
through the alleyway, a man with no head.
He wasn't wearing like a hood?
No, the man has no head. Why would he have a hood?
It looked like it might have been a hood.
It's a ghost, Jerry.
Like a white sweater.
I love you, Jerry. But it's a ghost that has no head.
Look at that. It's clear as day.
It was
It's
pretty.
night.
It,
It is actually night. So, it was a street in Mexico. It was early in the morning.
Ooh.
And the CCTV camera caught a galloping horse, which they could also hear. What looks like a rider on horseback then tears along a quiet street. But of course, there is no head. One viewer said the horse looks without skin, like a horse already decomposed with only bones.
God, you guys and your imagination.
You don't see it?
You get so crazy.
You don't want to believe that there's a bone horse with a headless man on top of it?
I could believe it.
You don't have to believe it. You saw it.
I mean,
it kinda looks like a
you
cow,
don't have to
but-
believe everything that
does
you
look-
see. It does look a little like a cow.
Dame la vaca.
There is something about it that when it's like running by, it's a little bit transparent.
It's a ghost.
What if it was like, I don't know, the projection?
The galloping sounds start
I
at
want to see it again.
Okay, well, let's watch it again.
Play it again.
We need to
again,
convince her.
Sam.
She's Dominican. You've got to convince a Dominican. So the galloping sounds, they started the video. They were reportedly heard by neighbors in the area. The horse and rider were nowhere to be seen. The video, and this is how you know it's real, it's amassed 5.5 million views.
Why are we watching this?
That's an advertisement for Gillette Venus.
Yeah,
So Kathy commented, "Who's that just sitting there?" And I didn't see when the horse passed.
that does look like someone sitting.
There's someone sitting there.
Someone's sitting there, right?
Someone's sitting on nothing.
And then boom, and then the horse.
horse is coming.
The horse is coming. There's the horse.
Ooh.
Indeed.
Looks
Take
like a
it.
little bit of smoke
Take
and
it-
a sweater.
Indeed. Sleepy Hollow. Take it to Sleepy Hollow. Alma says, but if it's almost 2 a.m., what's that man sitting there? I don't understand. The video has 4,000 comments. Another viewer says, zoom into the last light down the street. There's no shadow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Another person says, you can't even see the horseman until the last light. Who can explain that? And the person had no reaction. Ooh. So isn't that kind of fun?
What is this?
It's a headless horseman.
I just want to know what it actually is. I want the riddle to be solved.
You're really no fun.
It's a man with no head.
It's a man with no head who probably died during the Crusades, and now he rides on his horse to tell people that Jesus is coming back.
Down,
I don't know what he's doing.
down a random alleyway. Where did this happen again?
Where else do you want him to ride?
Where was it?
It's in Mexico.
It's in Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh,
The land of the spirit.
that's where the spirits are. isn't it?
Indeed.
On a horse.
It looks like a cow for sure.
It does look like a
It's a bone cow.
It's, well, fine. So the headless horseman is riding a cow. If that's a better story for you.
I mean, it's cool.
It's a mysterious creature.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So some people said the animal gave her chills. Ooh. Yes. So anyway, so that's one story. And isn't that spooky?
Yeah, that is
Very
spooky.
spooky.
Except for the comment where someone was like, "Why would he be just sitting there at 2 a.m.?" We've all been that person that's just sitting
love
there at
that.
2
Oh, yeah.
I love sitting
Not
there,
paying
too.
attention to anything.
Just dazed out.
Everyone, that's my biggest pet peeve about like morning people. They'll be like, "Yeah, I wake up at 4:30." I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to the club."
Yeah.
I am up
I'm
at
still
4:30.
awake too.
Yeah,
I am also awake right
we all
now.
love the mornings. Some of us just
Yeah.
go to sleep
Yeah.
after them,
Right.
and you have a whole day and try to succeed and shit.
Good dork.
Whatever. Yeah, you're working 9 to 5.
I woke up pretty early today.
You did?
I did.
How early?
I forgot.
Oh wow, that early!
Yeah.
Holy hell!
That's early.
good.
Yeah.
Sticking with the news of the creepy,
Oh.
a chupacabra.
Oh my god.
The mythical chupacabra, Jerry. You're gonna need to turn your brain on to the fact that we possibly live in a world between other realms. Yes. Terrifying moment. It's a terrifying moment. A mystery red-eyed creature stalked a woman, and experts are puzzled.
What the hell is that?
It's a chupacabra. What?
It's a chupacabra. It's
What
not a
did
dying
people-
dog.
What aren't you
It
getting?
definitely looks like a wild dog.
That's what a chupacabra is.
Or like an opossum.
No, it's not an opossum. The tail is definitely not that of an opossum.
Okay.
Yes. It seems like you're working for the deep state.
Like
Yeah.
a dog monkey, maybe.
A dog monkey. You think it's probably a dog monkey,
Whatever
not a
it is, it
chupacabra?
looks severely injured. Look at this poor face.
Oh.
It looks like a scary chupacabra.
Oh, he
Or
looks
It's like a
he
burned
went through
bear.
something. Yeah, he looks- oh my God! What if it's a bear?
What if it's a chupacabra? So,
What is a chupacabra? What is?
It's a
what is
Mexican
that?
cryptid.
What
it's a
did-
Mexican cryptid.
What did it look like before? Didn't we see one like 20 years ago or something? What did it look like before?
Tiny, raggedy, skinny.
I thought it was
It's like a
skinny
bat
and
rat
tall.
monster.
I thought it was standing and walking on two
It can be. There's many different kinds of chupacabras.
Are there?
Some, yes, many different kinds.
There's
Some suck the blood out of your chickens and wildlife.
Yeah.
Others
are
just
they
have
known
sex
to
with
do
your
that?
daughter. Yes. Janae Lynn, she's 30. She said the animal gave her chills when she first saw it lurking around.
That's messed up. That looks like an injured animal that needs medical attention. It looks like it just got hit by a car.
It was in Colorado.
It looks like it just got hit by a car.
It does. It does. And who would do that to a chupacabra? Look at it here. It looks like kind of a
I thought
larger
it
rat.
was in Mexico.
It kind of looks like Beekman from the Beekman rat from Beekman's World.
What
So
is happening? That's a bear.
there's no proof. Nobody
raccoon.
believed Janae. It's Janay. Janae.
Oh,
Jenna.
you're saying Jenny like Forrest?
Yeah, well, that's how her mom decided to curse her.
That's where the chupacabra came from.
Until she captured the footage of the creature this past Saturday night.
See, that's not that animal.
There's many different
That's
chupacabra.
so not that animal.
Speculation is rife.
If there are different
Oh.
species within the chupacabra, I want to hear those names because you don't know any of those either.
Google,
The spectrum of chupacabrae.
can you please find that? Can you find that information for the skeptic? Thank you. New speculation is rife. over the animal's true identity. Some say it's a skinwalker. Some say it's chupacabra. Janae, she says, I first saw it last Monday during the afternoon. I was sitting in the road. This is what she said. I was sitting in the road in front of my house. So she's just sitting in the road in front of her house. And then she says, it didn't run or act afraid of me. And it turned and looked at me. And I got chills and ran back inside, which is probably safer than sitting in the middle of the road.
Why was she sitting in the middle of the road to begin with?
That is something we just simply don't know.
Yeah.
She says, I told everybody about it and no one believed me. But then she says, on Saturday night, about 8:30, I had just set out water and food for some stray cats. So she's, okay, that hang around. And I opened my living room curtains and it was there. Chupacabra.
So second opportunity for you to get this animal some help that
So
looks severely injured,
I-
which looks like now that you looked it up, some words, a coyote.
Yeah.
Wolf thing.
Ish.
It looks like a coyote. It looks like like a very injured, dragged through the road coyote.
Yes, they would be similar. They could be friends. Sure.
So she was sitting in the middle of the road.
And then she saw it. And then she told her friends, and her friends were like, you're an idiot.
Oh my God!
And then-
she hit it.
She did not hit it.
She hit it.
She was sitting.
No,
What
she
it-
caused the car to swerve. Then that hit it, and then this thing was on fire. Comes out of the woods, and she's like, "Chupacabra!"
Speculation.
God.
That's speculation. And that's not allowed in the Kissel court.
No.
She says, I went outside to try to yell at it and scare it off because I was worried about the cats. And that's when I got the video of it eating cat food.
Oh, chupacabra's like cat food.
This
Wet or
fucking
dry?
animal needed help, and she just left him out to dry, being like, "That's a chupacabra."
Yes, because it's
What a
scary.
dick.
She said it made eye contact with me the whole time.
It looked like it was pleading for help.
She says it was not afraid.
He was like, "Kill me, please, anything."
Yes. Well, it's suffering.
Yeah.
But now it had some cat food, so that's good. Hundreds of people have tried to guess what it is. And again, most people say it's chupacabra. So there's also a skinwalker approach. Now, a skinwalker, it's a witch that has the ability to disguise itself as an animal, which is of the Navajo belief.
Oh,
The Navajo.
not me.
Indigenous people of the southwestern United States, and we love them. Janae, she has done some research, and she says, I looked up raccoons, badgers, wolverines,
Could have been a badger.
cotamundis, and bears, and she says none of them match up.
Oh.
And she's done a lot of research on that.
Seems
She can-
like Janae has done a lot of research.
Well, she
on
sits in the street, she thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says that's why it's so scary, because no one can even tell what it is.
Oh my God! It's because it had its face ripped off. It became. It's like a day away from being roadkill, dude.
I think it is roadkill. She says it's got a rat-like face. Its eyes are very small and far apart. Then she says it has a long, pointy nose and a mouth like rats do. It has long legs and arms, is about 2.5 feet in length, and has a chocolate brown fur that is thick and coarse, covering its whole body.
So was she or was she not just sitting there and staring at the thing after she hit it?
She didn't hit it.
But
she
then
was,
she-
she
why
was
did
trying
she-
to feed the cats, and it came to feed on the cat.
No. Food. Yeah, it
Food.
didn't eat any of the cats. It
No.
ate cat food.
Yeah. Janae also says, it was in my trash can when people arrived. It might be a raccoon.
It might be a raccoon with,
Yeah.
with his face just totally just scathed
Fried off.
off. Yeah.
Right, yeah. She says it was in the trash when people arrived, and then it ran down the street into a drainage ditch, and then we shined a light in there, and it started making a hissing-like noise. And then she says, we all got scared and left. So
I don't like this lady.
I don't know. They contacted. This is very serious. They contacted the local news station KOAA News 5 Colorado, and the wildlife official said it was tough to be 100% sure of the animal's identity. The use of the front paws and the size makes us think it's a raccoon. We might think this animal might be a raccoon with mange, but Janae is not convinced. So there you go.
Janae needs to get off the road and do something else.
I think that she is doing exactly what God told her to do, which is find cryptids and
Yeah.
feed cats,
Okay.
which is really fantastic retirement.
Okay, well, if you find a cryptid, maybe help it out. if it looks like it's in dire need of help, it's like bleeding in the face.
Especially if it is a skinwalker, because that would be a witch, and maybe the witch would grant you. Well, do witches do wishes?
No, they're always curses. They're
No,
always
they're always
like
curses.
those backwards, like gaslighting kind of wishes.
Thanks, Goosebumps.
Yeah.
R.L. Stein. I saw an interview at Comic-Con with R.L. Stein, and he said, it's funny, I don't even like horror. But the kids really enjoyed reading the books, and that's why I kept on writing them, because I wanted kids to read no matter what.
Aw,
Isn't that
that's
nice of him?
sweet.
Moving on. UFOs. A mysterious tower at Area 51 has been spotted on Google Earth.
Interesting.
Leading many social
Interesting.
leading many social media users to insist it's, quote, alien technology.
Oh, really?
Area 51, highly classified Air Force base, of course, in Nevada. No one believes there's actually any aliens there anymore. They were there at some point, and they have since been moved. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that.
It's a triangular tower created a shadow in a photo taken by Google Maps, because the entire fucking Earth is constantly under surveillance, and I think about it sometimes, and it really hurts my brain, and we live in a prison state.
Yes.
Okay, so some people say, obviously alien technology, it pops out when the Earth is done. Okay. In a Facebook discussion about the bizarre tower, one person's referenced 2001: A Space Odyssey. They say it's a monolith.
Oh.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It's a monolith. And then another one says it's a marker for aliens, so they know it's safe to land there.
Oh.
But it's probably not. It's a very
Probably
secure
just
U.S. Air
something-
Force.
Yeah,
base,
something
so.
that was built
Land on the butt plug.
Area 51 and a half.
Yep. Well, that's what one person basically calls it, a UFO charging dock.
Yeah.
Sit on it, baby. But it is unique. It's triangular. It makes an image almost like that image of the that one tower we have in Washington, D.C. that looks like a Klansman with the two red eyes.
The Washington Monument.
Is that the Washington Monument?
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like a Klansman with red eyes?
I guess.
I always think that.
I thought that looked like a butt plug, too.
Yeah.
Everything's a butt plug.
Everything's about black. Can you get this alien out of here?
Everything can be a butt plug. Will be a butt plug.
That's the technology you're bringing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For energy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm certainly awake now. It's part of a classified U.S. military installation used for stealth and radar signature testing. Many people are very concerned about this. The tower sparked a lot of jokes, because people will make their jokes.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who don't, maybe they're too scared
Yeah.
to really comprehend the idea that an alien life force might be out there and wanting to land in Nevada. We're here for gambling. We heard prostitution's legal.
Yeah. Something like that.
Well, yeah, but we charge per dick, and haram, you have 4 dicks, so that's going to be $300 an hour per dick.
Oh, wow. That's a steal.
Do you take Mars bucks?
Discrimination.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dick discrimination. An alien documentary titled The Age of Disclosure. It premiered at South by Southwest last month. It delved into 80 years of unidentified anomalous phenomena. It researched all a series of different things like the Tic Tac videos that we've been seeing. And that brings us to our next story. Also, Marco Rubio, he says, this is a Marco Rubio politician.
Marco Rubio of Florida.
He serves as Donald Trump's Secretary of State. He said in the film, we've had repeated instances of something operating in airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it ain't ours. Whoa. And we don't know whose it is. Just that statement alone deserves inquiry, deserves attention, deserves focus.
Yeah, I mean that's obvious that aliens are real and stuff. Is that building alien technology? Probably not.
Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, who knows?
Because now we also have new evidence, as everyone has their cameras, of a Tic Tac UFO.
What is that?
It looks like a Tic Tac. Remember Tic Tacs when people cared about their breath?
Yeah.
Man, I was talking to someone the other day, and the breath was just so bad.
Everyone's breath stinks still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't tell them.
You just have to chew gum You have to like pull out gum and like offer. a
Want
piece of
some?
gum. Like, oh, I'm in the mood for gum. Do you want some gum?
Do you want some gum? Like you're David Letterman?
Yeah. Want some gum?
Like you're Norm Macdonald doing impressions of David Letterman.
Right.
New footage recorded by a military combat ship. This was from their advanced radar system. It captured one of 4 observed tic-tac shaped unidentified objects. This was in California in 2023. Yes, the radar footage reportedly recorded by one of the active duty naval officers stationed on the USS Jackson. They say they witnessed objects with their own eyes. That's according to ufologist Jeremy Corbell, who I think I interviewed before. But sometimes with the ufologists, they're kind of boring. Just go on and on about science and shit. It's like, give me to the probe. But you're looking at the footage now, Jerry. What do you think? Fascinating. Thank you so much for that wonderful commentary.
Jesus Christ! I can't observe the tic tac for 5 seconds.
Corbell says you have trained observers, people that are taking a risk by going to journalists or putting it out. You can get killed for releasing that.
But it's already out there.
Because some brave American hero decided to release it.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It looks like you're a regular UFO zipping back and forth at weird speeds, going around in one silly little area. Yeah, that's a UFO.
Yeah, your reaction is why when we find out reptilians are real, no one's going to care.
Yeah, because
Like, yeah, of course, they're reptiles.
yeah, of course, duh.
It's self-illuminated. It was observed February 13th. 2023, and it was seen with what they're calling the naked eye. So put some clothes on. It was, hey, we don't want to put a bra on that eyeball. That's why I always wear contacts.
I do too.
Not naked.
Or glasses.
Can't go outside with a naked eye.
Yep.
So, emerging from the Pacific, it emerged from the Pacific Ocean. So it came from the water, which is quite interesting. Because as we know, the aliens are living down there because they can breathe down there and they hang out with SpongeBob and shit.
Especially under the Bermuda Triangle. We know this.
Could be. So then it directly went into in-air flight without any plumes or exhaust. And that would be a signature of, obviously those are signatures of conventional propulsion. But that don't have no conventional propulsion. The officer then rushed to the radar room and immediately fired up all the computers in an attempt to track the object. So he was all in on this.
Yeah.
And then he says that shit took off earlier. That's what a naval officer said. So that's very technical. He said that shit took off earlier. And doesn't it kind of look like a turd? So he says, what's that, 22,000 feet? Scramble the jets, one Navy operator said. Another said, I'll tell you what, wouldn't surprise me. Okay.
That's an educated.
These are our naval officers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, wouldn't surprise me.
I'll tell you what.
Period.
I'll tell you what.
So,
So technically, my pause was a little more appropriate than theirs.
well,
Technically, I had more of an appropriately educated response. I got nothing. It's a UFO. I know that. I'm tired of this speculating because we already know. Just let me know when you're going to tell me for real. Just let me know.
I think this
This
is
is-
just Tic Tac, big Tic Tac, reminding people they still exist to try to get their money back up.
you think it's all about the mints?
Yes.
You think Big Mint is behind this?
Tic Tac, big mint.
Sure.
The unidentified objects recalled the small fleet of mysterious flyers. They were seen harassing U.S. warships off the coast of California in July of 2019. So this is not the first time.
Ooh.
And they're attacking our naval vessels. They are metallic. Not really. not like exactly. But you could imagine if they did.
They're taunting them.
Yes, they're taunting them. Be like, hey, look at us. We can fly better than you can fly. So they're calling the footage chilling. Also, the objects, they were taking off in synchronized flight patterns. So they were dancing a little bit.
Ooh.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool. It makes you think there's an intelligence behind them.
Yeah. What if one day they play something? They play like music that's like extremely loud and everyone can hear it.
That'd be kind of fun.
Like there's speakers everywhere.
yeah, like a little, that'd be kind of nice as long as the music is fun.
It's just peanut butter jelly time.
Oh my God, 24/7. Oh,
Yeah, that would get pretty annoying. That'd be fun for like a second, and then it'd get pretty annoying.
yeah, it really would.
Yeah.
So they're calling this footage bombshell.
Bombshell footage.
Bombshell footage. Yes.
Okay.
It resembles the 2004 sighting of another Tic Tac. Another Tic Tac.
Another Tic Tac?
Yes. So they're all Tic Tacs, and those are the ones that come from the water. One of the stunned sailors told News 8, all we witnessed was all 4 of them, all in synchronicity, jetting into the abyss. All 4, all timed together and left. And we were like, holy shit. So again, very expert analysis. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yep.
And then they were super freaking out about it.
And then they were super freaking out about it. They said the second they left, maybe 3-4 seconds pass, I run to my station and I look at my radar. They're all off radar. That's it. They all zoomed off.
Wow.
So, who knows? Former Defense Secretary Department analyst Mark von Rankenkamp, he added fuel to the UFO fire by analyzing flight data from the exact time and location, concluding there was no U.S. aircraft in the area.
Damn.
So he says, I don't think it's ours. I suspect there are better places for us to showcase the kind of equipment to unwitting sailers. So I don't know
What does that mean?
He's like, if we're going to experiment on you, you're going to, I don't know. He's like, we like to fucking, we scare the shit out of our sailors, but we do it better than that.
Yeah, we would do some crazier shit.
I love how all the naval experts are like, holy shit, it's flying fish sticks.
Yeah, they're really
They really are.
perfect.
That's it.
They're really on it.
Well, I guess that's what we asked for, right? Not to hear about the scientists saying all the boring terms and
Yeah.
stuff.
Holy shit. That turd. Man, I had one of those this morning. Anyway, let's wrap up Friday. What do we got for comments?
Oh boy, peanut butter jelly time is going to be stuck in Vanessa's head now. She's
It's
saying thanks.
immediately.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Such
peanut butter jelly.
That's great. I like it.
Nothing more believable than a stunned sailor.
True.
And Jeff said, please, Pano, a stunned seaman.
Indeed.
Done to semen.
Pano also said in the Forrest Gump voice, I may be dumb, but I know what a chupacabra is.
Thank you. Absolutely.
my God.
See?
They're saying definitely a ghost. Jeff is saying a bone cow is still a ghost.
Absolutely. See, this is fantastic support.
okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the BJ Penn thing, Pano says that a DNA test live on Maury would be a must watch.
Oh, that would be so freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for enjoying another great week of OK Bud. We will be back next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Hail yourself. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.